Hey everyone, today with my weekly update on my main account. Um, it is now day 96. Um, this week was, fairly eventful. Um, Probably the biggest thing was in terms of dungeons. I'm now able to do Spider 20, which was pretty nice. This is what my team looks like. It's about like 90% or so success rate. I would say that if I got both Seeker and Ultimate Gaelic up to 6-star, I'd be much closer to 100% because it didn't let me push their HP up, which would let me push Apothecary's HP and defense up. So, depending on how the next few weeks go, I may end up doing that just to improve consistency here. But again, now it's the only thing that I am waiting for on the Arbiter mission is just Great Hall stuff. So waiting for this right now because, the Spirit keeps only open twice a week. The next thing that I'll be waiting on, not reach Gold 3, but upgrade a Great Hall to level 8. Because I did get a Great Hall to level 7 very recently. I am focusing on accuracy for Void. That's mostly for Ceres to help me in that regard, but also as soon as I do get Arbiter, it will help with Arbiter as well for her applying both Weaken, the reduced turn meter from the Masteries, and also the lowering the duration of buffs on the new teams. So the accuracy for Void is very important for me in that regard. Speaking of arena, like I said, I don't in general like to have as clickbaity titles as I have today. However, when I stopped last night from my stream, the arena tournament was in my eyes, rather funny place. Let me show you my points real quick. Classic arena takedown. I am in first. I'm in a fairly weak group. With 1337 points. So like I said, I thought last night that was a good place to stop. So that's where I am on that. Obviously, as soon as this video ends, I'm going to go use all of my tokens that I have as best I can. The big thing is that in Arena, I'm just using tokens too quickly. So my defense is actually just Gorgrab, and he's only 50. But I'm not falling down as quickly as I had hoped. Honestly, I wish I was closer to the beginning of Gold 1. That was an issue I ran into last night. I actually almost got into Gold 3 just farming metals. So that was fairly surprising for me. But maybe that just means that there's less people that are active right now. I'm not sure. Overnight, I always end up taking a lot of defeats, which does lead me to believe, and this bit here kind of reinforces that I think there's a large amount of the player base that isn't actually American that's in gold, and it's Russian, which is interesting. I talked about that on my stream a little bit yesterday. It was one of my viewers made that observation that he thinks that there's just a large portion of the high ranks in Arena are actually filled with Russian players rather than American players, which is not too terribly surprising. We know that there's a very large population of Russian players in the game, but it does mean that for me, I don't get as many hits during the day to lower my Arena ranking to actually make it easier for me to farm. In general, I think I'm doing all right. Like I said, I've to the point where I can farm Spider, I'm farming Arena, and very close to just being able to summon Kreela. I did not do the... it's a term. I didn't do the Champion Chase I think I got 250 points at the most. I summoned Horden from Fragments, and that's all I got for Champion Chase, and I'm still going to pretty easily be able to get Kreela. Part of that, obviously, is because of the fact that when they put a bunch of shards behind doing well in this tournament, there was the community outcry, which meant that they made some changes such that it's easier from the other events to get shards or fragments. So that's kind of nice from there. Something I did want to talk about, we noticed a lot yesterday in Arena. It's something I've known for a little bit, but Siphi as a champion just does way too much for too little of a cost. So obviously I don't have any sort of like amazing gear. Her speed's only 300. But considering where I am, I feel like her stats are quite good. Almost 3k defense and 50k HP, which in Arena means that she just survives basically forever with her passive and her buffs of increased defense and block debuffs. But the fact that all of her abilities probably do more than they really should really is a problem. Like the fact that her A1, the debuff of sleep can't be resisted, means that you don't need any accuracy. So that's not a concern. So a champion like Arbiter and Lysandra as turn meter boosters, you really do kind of want some amount of accuracy on them so that they can use their kit to the fullest potential. Siphi doesn't need accuracy at all. The fact that this brings them back with a full turn meter is a big deal. Most revives, when you bring them back, there's a pretty decent chance that they're just going to get killed if you're too far behind, and that doesn't happen with Siphi. And again, the fact that this says all of these things, block debuffs, increased defense, and increased speed with the turn meter, is probably a little high. I really, really hope that she is one of the champions that gets nerfed. Obviously, for my Arena team, it's not just Siphi, right? Like, Saris is very strong. There's a reasonable shot in my mind that she could get nerfed next month. Honestly, the biggest problem that I have with Saris's kit is that everything about her is basically defensive, right? Fear is pretty defensive. You're taking off buffs. Block debuffs is definitely a defensive ability, so is true fear. Decrease attack is, but then the fact that there's decreased defense, and everything else on this champion is defensive, but then it just has she has the best offensive debuff as well. Is a little strange to me. It wouldn't be surprising to me if this is where Saris gets changed. If they do something with decreased defense, which I think is reasonable. She's a very defensive champion, but then suddenly has decreased defense for seemingly no reason. But Saris, Siphi, and then Foley being in my Arena team means I just get to kind of ignore a lot of strategies. And I think that's somewhat of an issue with how a lot of the legendaries kind of work is they do a lot of things well. So like Foley, he's damaged. That's basically all he does. And he's fine. It's just the AoE preventing or blocking revive it's actually a pretty big deal in the current meta. I don't think Foley needs a nerf by any means. It's just he has so much going on in his kit too. It just seems like a lot to me that legendaries always just kind of get a bunch of extra stuff thrown on their abilities for seemingly no reason. Obviously, that's just how Raid works and how Plarium's decided that they're going to make champions. It's just kind of why newer players and free-to-play or low-spin players are going to be struggling in the long term. Is if they're using rare and epic champions more often than legendaries, they're just simply going to have less abilities on their team and the ability to have less buffs, debuffs, and stuff like that. So I think for the long-term health of the game, it's a little concerning, but that is what it is. Didn't really mean to make this a rant. More was just wanted to talk about my arena team a small amount. Again, talk about how during the day I'm not getting attacked quite enough, even in Gold 1. But that is what it is. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with my progress so far, because again, this is only day 96. Still just farming Nightmare Clan boss every day. So hopefully with the next artifact enhancement event, I can push some gear around. I'm actually working on Sandblast right now. So as soon as she gets to 60, I'll go ahead and finish off her masteries. I'm working on that a bit in Minotaur right now. Book her up and see what I can do in terms of speed tuning and stuff like that. So that, Sandlash, Frozen Banshee, Skull Crusher, Sepulcher, Razin. See what sort of headway I can make into Ultra Nightmare with that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that works out. In any case, thanks everyone for watching. I do stream every night but Fridays, right around the reset, and that's 7 Central Time, and that's at twitch.tv/cluelesseconomist. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you then.